What's up, everybody? My name is Brad, and today I'm doing another book review on the book Night by Elie Wiesel, or Elie Wiesel. I'm not sure how he pronounces his first name. But this book actually won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1986. And this is a memoir of his experiences as a young boy and teenager. Him and his family were Jews, and they lived in Transylvania. And this is about his experiences of being captured by the Nazis during World War II and being sent to the concentration camps. And he went to Auschwitz first, and later he went to Buchenwald. And this is the telling of all the atrocities that he witnessed, the awful treatment of the Nazis to the Jewish people, the Jewish people, how bad they treated themselves while in the concentration camps, the death of his family, the death of his faith and his religion, and all those types of things. At the beginning of the book, before they are taken by the Nazis, it shows or talks about how religious he was, what a proud believer he was in his faith. He would pray all the time. He was studying the Kabbalah. It actually talks about him going to the temple, or praying and weeping over the temple being destroyed. And then as the book goes on, he keeps having this internal monologue with himself about how God could do this to him and his people. And slowly, throughout the book, he loses his faith, in God due to, how he could let the Nazis do this to him and his people and his family. He just doesn't understand how a God could let that happen. So his views on his faith, at the beginning, he's very strong believer in his faith, and throughout the book and the things that he experiences, that view gets twisted, and by the end of it, he really loses his faith, really in humanity and his God. But this is a really powerful book. It's sort of along the lines of Anne Frank's diary as well, firsthand experience of all the things that happened to the Jews, done to them by the Nazis. You learn about that stuff in textbooks and stuff, but there's nothing really quite the same as having a firsthand account of someone who was actually there and lived through it about what happened. It's really sad, chilling story, but it's a powerful reminder of things that have happened, and we want to make sure that those types of things don't happen again. There's some pretty vivid sections of the book. I want to read you just a little section, just so you can kind of get a sense of how he writes and what all he actually went through. So I'm going to read you a little paragraph or two here. At the sign from the head of the camp, the 3 chairs tipped over. Total silence throughout the camp. On the horizon, the sun was setting. "Bare your heads," yelled the head of the camp. His voice was raucous. We were weeping. "Cover your heads." Then the march past began. The 2 adults were no longer alive. Their tongues hung swollen, blue-tinged, but the 3rd rope was still moving. Being so light, the child was still alive. For more than half an hour he stayed there, struggling between life and death, dying in slow agony under our eyes. And we had to look him full in the face. He was still alive when I passed in front of him. His tongue was still red. His eyes were not yet glazed. Behind me, I heard the same man asking, "Where is God now?" And I heard a voice within me answer him, "Where is he? Here he is. He is hanging here on this gallows." That night, the soup tasted of corpses. So that's just one section, one little part. Very vivid imagery there. You can almost, as much as you can almost feel like you're there with him, reliving these experiences with him. There's other scenes in the book. There's one near the end of the book where the Allies are coming. They're close to the camp that they're in, and the Nazis, they think they're going to be freed, but the Nazis take them all out of the camp and march them through the forest to another location. And it's in the middle of winter, it's freezing cold, and I don't know, there's hundreds or thousands of Jews being forced marched through the woods, and they're just falling down, dying, being trampled, Nazis are shooting them if they're slowing down. Really vivid. They all end up huddling up in this sort of abandoned place, and the bodies, they're just lying on top of each other, and the people on the bottom are dying, and the people on top are just laying on dead bodies. It's pretty horrible, but I definitely recommend you check this out if you're interested in anything related to World War II, or if you want to learn more about the things that happened during that time. I gave it 5 stars. Really powerful book. It's a short book. It's only about 109 pages or so, so it's a quick read. But I highly recommend this to anyone who would like to learn more about that time frame or get a first-hand perspective on what all actually occurred in the concentration camps with the Jews and stuff. But that's all I have for today. That's all my thoughts on it. I thank you for spending your time with me today, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.